Last year, my spin looked like this. And last month, it looked like this. And I really haven't progressed in a while, and that's going to change this month. In December, I've made a Christmas intensive program. With this program, I'm sure I'll be progressing much faster. Let's see what it's all about. It's Christmas, and that means that I'm going to level up my skating. Because what better gift to give myself than progressing in something I love to do? I have made a Christmas intensive program, which is a 4-week program leveling up my skating on ice, but also my on ice things. I feel like I haven't really progressed in a while, and you're gonna see that when my progress video is coming up. I'm really tired of it because I'm the last one on my team from the original team that hasn't moved up last time we were getting a new mark. I'm gonna do something about that. And I also have a competition coming up where I have to do a lot of elements. So there's a lot of reasons for me to practice this, and it's also just fun to progress and to do a challenge. So if you want to join this challenge with me, then please write it in the comments, because then I can see that we are more than just me doing this challenge, which would be delightful. Now let me tell you what this program is all about. First up, we have my goal tracker. Here I have some goals that I want to achieve. I haven't finished it, so you can see there's a blank space here. But for example, we have the look confident and fearless, which is there because I have a competition coming up in January, which is the elements. I have to do a walls jump and a 1-foot spin and stuff like that. And if I look confident and fearless, there is a chance that I might get a trophy. And I really want a trophy one day. I have to really practice that. There's a lot of different things that I want to do here. And then in the bottom, I have my library. Here's from the recent competition. And then this picture and this picture here are from my first competition last year in April, I think. And then this is just for fun. So yeah, I'm planning on adding a lot of pictures. Now to my Christmas intensive. Here it's divided into 4 weeks. We have week 1 here, divided into off ice and on ice. And all of the weeks are built like this. First up, we have the spinner. I have an off ice spinner, and my plan is to use it 5 minutes every day, since it's gonna help me balance. I've written a few things here, like day 1 to 2, getting reps with legs straight out. The tip I got was to just try to balance on one foot. I don't have to think about where my other foot is, so maybe just keep it out. So I'm going to do that for 2 days. And then we have day 3 to 7 is getting reps with foot to knee. And that's just the very basic 1-foot spin. Since I haven't done a scratch spin on ice yet, but I can do this one here. So this is my way to work myself into getting a centered spin. Then we have stretching. I said 10 minutes every day. Of course, I can do it for more than 10 minutes, but 10 minutes is like, that's what I have to do. So I have to do 10 minutes every day, but I can do more if I want to. We have some different stretches. I have like a stretching routine, and these are all for my legs. You can take a screenshot if you want to do that, but I'm just going past this now. We also have a few back stretches, and then I'm not done with this. I'm almost done, but I can stretch my arms. I didn't know how to explain it on Notion, but it's like doing it just different arm stretches. Yeah, so 10 minutes doing all of these things. And for me, the leg stretches are the most important ones, especially since my turnout really isn't great. That's also a challenge I'm doing. So with this challenge, I'm also probably completing my other challenge of bettering my turnout, because my hips are turned inwards and it makes it hard for me to do mohawks and such. Then we have jumps, 20 minutes. That's on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So we have practice on Monday and Saturday, and Thursday I have a lot of free time in December, so that's why I chose these dates. But of course, if you want to do this with me, see where it fits on your schedule. I've done it so that I can do it before my on-ice practice, or afterwards, of course. But with jumps, I said I can do like jump, landing position. I'm gonna do that on one foot a few times and then on the other leg. The goal is also to have a nice landing position. And then we're gonna work on rotations. First up, there's just like the normal one where you could do, for example, quarter rotations or half rotations, or you can just start with a whole rotation, which is what I'm intending to do. So I'm gonna do that with my feet beside each other, so it's not crossing my feet yet. Then doing that, and then also trying maybe a few times the other way. Then we have the quick bouncy rotations, which is one rotation one way and then directly into the other way. Then I'm gonna do some rotations with my feet crossed. As the last exercise for rotation jumps, I'm gonna go as far as I can, which is to prep me for an axle, which is 1.5 rotations, if you didn't know. There's a long way to go from one rotation to 1.5. Here, the important thing is having your feet crossed, but also to be upright and not leaning towards one side, because that can throw you off your center. So, then we have waltz jumps. I need to practice those off ice as well, especially since I have to do them in my competition. Then salchow, toe loop, and flip, since I have to be able to do them on ice one day. So yeah. Then we have strength training, which is 1 hour, and that's just basically every day that I can do it. So I can do it Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, since I on Mondays have normal skating practice, and Wednesdays I'm attending a sewing course, and then of course the rest of the week. And I have a training partner, so she's holding me accountable. You really don't have to do it for an hour, but we always train for an hour or an hour and a half. And I think it takes that long because we also like to talk. But yeah, here I have my strength training schedule. I'm training in splits, I think they call it. So I have like pull days, push days, and legs and abs. As said here, before every workout, we do 10 minutes of walking on the treadmill. That could also be maybe 15 minutes. I'm gonna say 15 minutes because we're gonna come to that later. But when doing reps, try to pick a weight that pushes you throughout the last reps, which is progressive overload. Here you have my exercises. I can show you these. You can take a screenshot if you want to. I often do 3 times 10 reps. So 3 sets of 10, but I also pick a weight that is challenging, but still like makes me able to do it with the right form, because then I'm doing progressive overload, which helps with muscle gain. And we want to be strong and fit and everything when we do ice skating to prevent injuries and everything like that. But that's my pull days, and my push days, they look like this. And then we have legs and abs. You can also take a picture of that if you want to do that. But that's also just a lot of different exercises. On the seated leg press, I have written that I take my toes out so they go like this, because then I build muscles in my inner thighs, which helps me with turnout, which is also what I have written. But especially for me, it's very important for me to do it this way, since I struggle so much with it. But you can just do it the normal way if you want to. This is just how I do it. But it's also abs, so we also do a lot of ab exercises. Yep. All right. And then cardio every day. So I said 15 plus minutes. I have bike everywhere, so I take my bicycle to school and to practice and to fitness and my sewing course and everything. I bike everywhere. So then we have 15 minutes of inclined walking as warm-up for strength training, which is why I changed it in here. When it's inclined, you use your muscles in a different way, and it's often more challenging, also helping you with like better cardio, but also strengthening your calves and everything. So, and then cardio is part of off ice every Monday at my rink. So we have 45 minutes to do some sort of cardio and jumping and everything. So a lot of the off ice elements I mentioned here is something we're doing at the rink also. Also, before going to the next part, I want to say that I am not a certified coach. or trainer or anything. This is just what I have seen other people do, but also what I do already. It should work. It should work to be better for me and help me progress a lot. So, yes, I just needed to say that. But then we have the on ice things. Here it's all from 15 minutes to 45 minutes. And as you can see here, it's almost only Thursdays and Fridays. The upper part is. The reason for that is that I have normal lessons every Monday and Saturday, and then a few Wednesdays we have to practice for a show. Then we have my edge work. So I have spent 15 minutes practicing inside and outside edges. This isn't turns because we're gonna come to that here, but I don't have that strong edges when I do them. So that could be like slalom, 1 foot slalom. It could be just like the normal 1 foot where you go and like, I don't know what you call the shape, but yeah, there's a lot of different ways to do this, and I really need to spend time on it. Then we have the turns. We have inside and outside 3 turns, brackets, etc. There's just a lot of things that I can do better and become more confident in. And if you're a beginner, then 2 foot turns would also be great here. Then we have spins. I said spend 30 minutes on spins. Since we're practicing for a Christmas show, we are not doing much work when we have our own, like our lessons with our coach. So therefore I only have Thursday and Friday to do this. But on Thursday, I want to work on my forwards entrance. It needs to be longer, but I also tend to make it like very round. So I don't really get the shell shape that you want to have. I need to work on that. And then I'm gonna do a foot to knee spin. On Friday, we're gonna do it from the backwards crossovers, but still try to hold the entrance. And then I have said, do the following a few times at every practice. Try to spin with the leg out to stabilize. So that's also what I talked about when I have to use my spinner. Then we have the jumps, 30 minutes for that too. And on week 1, we only focus on waltz jumps because this is also a jump that I'm gonna do at the competition. So it's really important for me that I can do that. The waltz jumps are also just very great for getting used to the whole feeling of jumping and being on your toe pick and everything. And it can help you improve your other your other jumps too. Then we have the lunge and the spiral. I just said needs to be practiced as well, but that's because my lunge, surprisingly, is very bad. It's one of my biggest struggles for some reason. Maybe 15 minutes is way too much for this. But then I can also practice it on the other leg. And then I could also, if it's becomes too easy, I can do a spider lunge or I can do a backward spiral or something like that. So there's a lot of ways to practice this. So 15 minutes maybe is a good time. And then of course, as I talked about before, we have the normal lessons and the show, which will be on Mondays and Saturdays, and then the show is also on Wednesdays. We are gonna have the show on December 17th. At 17 p.m., 5 p.m. After that date, we're gonna have normal lessons. So it's gonna be great. But this week is actually only show training. That is week 1. And then week 2 is basically the same, so I'm not gonna take you through everything here. But for spinner, I have set getting reps in a scratch spin. And that's because now I think, since I use it every day in week 1, that I can do the thing where I put my leg in cross and try scratch spin. And then it's just all about centering it and staying on the right part of my spinner. I'm very good at spinning on my toe pick, so I need to work on that. But yeah, a scratch spin, 5 minutes every day. Stretching is the same, nothing changed there. Then we have spins here. So, Thursday I want to try it from the backwards entrance again, but I need to, it needs to be longer and sharper. With it, I mean the forwards entrance. So the backwards thing is pretty long already. But I need to, when I change from backwards to forwards, I need to make it sharper. And then Friday, we do the same, but focus on opening up. So that's also opening up the hips. And that's the thing about having them out. When I have the leg straight out, because that's gonna prepare me for a scratch spin. Then jumps, we're gonna focus on wall jumps again. For week 3, we're just gonna close week 2 here. For week 3, we have spinner. I said here, day 1 through 3, we're getting reps with scratch spin. And then day 4 to 7, we're also gonna practice a backward spin. And it's important for me to mention that when I practice scratch spins, I also need to practice a few with my leg at my knee, like my foot at my knee, because that's still a very, very good exercise to know. And then we have some on ice things that also changes here. So for spin, we have Friday, try a scratch spin. Thursday, we say increase reps with open feet. And then Friday, try a scratch spin. And then jumps, focus on wall jumps, but also do cell cows this week. And this is also the week where we have our show. So we have normal practice on normal practice on Saturday, but the show lesson is on Monday. So yes, we only have one normal lesson. Then we have the last week. It has been Christmas at this point, and I know a lot of people are busy in Christmas time, and I also have a lot of things to do myself, so I hope that I can do all of these things. But otherwise, here we have the last part of it. So we're doing scratch spins and backward spins, but also on day 4 through 7 on week 4, we're adding sit spins and camel spins. So if I think it's going well with the other things, I can add this. But it's not a goal to do it on ice yet. It's just good to know how to do it off ice also. So yeah, get a spinner if you don't have one, since it can really help you. Because I found out that all of my progress happened when I was using the spinner often. And then I stopped using it for half a year. And guess what? My spins don't look better. So we're gonna use the spinner. Yep. Then we have the spins here. So I say try a scratch spin. If difficult, then make sure to do the normal ones as well, which is basically the same as last week. And then jumps, we have focus on wall jumps again, but also toe loops. So at this point, I'm guessing that my wall jumps are getting pretty good and that I'm working on some height instead. But otherwise, I'm also practicing a toe loop, since I don't really have it, but I'm so close. So if I spend like the whole week here working on that, it's probably gonna come. And it's a good way to end 2025. Yes, and then we don't have any more show practice, so it's just normal practice. That was everything for my summer intensive. I hope you could use it for anything. I'm thinking about like documenting everything, or just as much as I can. I do have 2 exams coming up that are due to December 16th or so, but I hope I can do all of this. I'm gonna try my very best, and we'll see if it makes any change. That was everything for my Christmas intensive. I hope you enjoyed this video. As I said before, if you decide to try this challenge with me, please write it in the comments so I know that we are more people. I at least encourage you to try some of these things, and then I hope I'll see you in one of my next videos. Bye!